Welcome, friends. It's morning. It is extremely early morning because I have a thing today and I need to make some bars. Okay? We're gonna make these bars out of the best loved Hershey's recipe book that I got, I don't know where, a very long time ago. If I can find it, I'll link it below. If not, I will type the recipe in the description box below, or possibly both. Now, it's early. I pulled my hair up in a messy mom bun, and I put on a bra for you people. You're welcome. As I have not had a full first cup of coffee, you will not see energetic mare. You're getting raw and real this morning. So we're gonna make marbled cheesecake bars. Now, I have not made these in a very long time, but I do recall being kind of in love with them and thinking they were possibly the best thing since sliced bread. So we're gonna make them. I'm going to a bridal shower today, and because I am me, I offered to bring a pan of bars. Now, here's the thing with bars. In Minnesota, bars are life. Anything that can be baked in a 9x13 dish will be baked in a 9x13 dish, okay? That goes for hot dish and especially for bars. We like to make cookie bars, lemon bars, cheesecake bars, 7-layer bars, you name it. Of course, some people call those 7-layer bars magic bars. Now, whether they are 7-layered or magic or both, I do not know, but we like bars, okay? Here in Minnesota, we like bars. They're real good, and it's so handy to be able to put them in that casserole dish. It's real nice for potlucks and picnics and bridal showers, any of that stuff, okay? You got it? Okay, let's make some bars. Now, this recipe calls for vanilla wafer crumbs because apparently we have to be extra and not use graham crackers. Now, I got these nice mini Nilla cookies, but the recipe calls for approximately 60 wafers, which should equal to about 2 cups of crumbs. So we're just going to eyeball this, measure with your heart, whatever. Also, if you hear my children shouting from the basement, they're playing Minecraft online, and apparently that requires shouting, and it's such a glorious thing to wake up to on a Saturday morning when I could otherwise possibly sleep in if my toddler does. You know, it's glorious. So anyways, that's gonna be loud. Sorry. We're gonna dump. I don't know. Does that look good to you? Let me know. I feel like it's good. 2 extra just for fun. We'll try that. Why not? Now we're gonna blitz these in my Oster food processor. I've had this for quite a long time. It's held up well thus far. Yeah, I'm not gonna do that on camera though. Too loud. Okay, I feel like this looks like 2 cups. I feel like there's a cup on this half of the blender and a cup on that half of the blender. What do you think? Next up to this mixture, we're gonna add butter. I have a stick of butter that has been melted in the microwave, very fancy. And then we're going to add some cocoa powder and powdered sugar to this. Now, 1/3 cup of cocoa powder and 1/2 of a cup of powdered sugar and 1 stick of butter equal to 1/2 a cup. And I need a rubber scraper. So I blitzed it as much as I thought I could in the food processor with the cocoa powder and powdered sugar, but it's not quite fully coming together. There's still some vanilla crumbs that don't look like a chocolate crust, so I'm going to go ahead and carefully remove the blade. And then we're going to dump this, and I'm just going to mix it the rest of the way. Yeah, there's a lot of chocolate on the bottom. With my good old-fashioned trusty scraper here, just to break up any really large clumps and get those last few crumbs mixed in, because we want this to be nice and even and chocolatey.
Also, we're just going to see how many dishes I can possibly create making one darn recipe, right? There we go. That's looking much better now. Just a few clumps. Okay, and then we're going to stick this at the bottom of our casserole dish. Just get it all in there, and then you can either use the side of your spatula, your hands, or even the edge of the measuring cup that you used for your powdered sugar to help press this down in order to really form that crust. Now it does say to put this in an ungreased baking pan. I'm guessing that stick of butter will do just fine in helping it to be greased, but that's just my own personal guess. And I'm just going to continue to pat this down. And that is the finished product of our crust. We are going to set this to the side and work on the filling. I gained a helper over here. We are going to add 3 blocks, 8-ounce blocks of cream cheese. 1,
Yep.
you gonna count with me? 2, and 3.
1, 2, 3.
All right.
Is 1, 2.
Now, because it says to use softened bars of cream cheese, but I'm making this in the morning, I didn't really want to leave the cream cheese out overnight for food safety reasons. So I'm actually going to microwave this just a little bit so that it will blend up nice and smoothly for these cheesecake bars. Now we're going to add 3 eggs. Go ahead. Good job. Good job. And then we're going to add 1 can of sweetened condensed milk that is 14 ounces.
Oh, wait, Mom.
Yeah, pour it all in and scrape it out. It calls for 2 teaspoons,
Okay.
1 and 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract.
It's 1, 2.
It also calls for 2 bars, which are supposed to be 1 ounce each, of Hershey's unsweetened baking chocolate. So this one is Ghirardelli, sorry Hershey's, and it's 4 ounces, so I'm just going to use half the bar. Now we're going to go ahead and use a hand blender. This one's from KitchenAid, and again, it's held up really well for me over the years. And we're just going to whip this up until it is completely combined and nice and light and creamy and fluffy. So I have already preheated the oven to 300 degrees, and I think I've got everything in the shot. Woohoo! So I have my cream cheese mixture all ready to go. Now with the blender, it can create quite a few air bubbles, so I like to give it a couple of taps on the counter to just bring any of those air bubbles to the surface and hopefully pop any of the larger ones so that we don't have too many air pockets inside of the cheesecake itself. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and pour the...
What I did?
In just a minute. We are going to pour half of the mixture into the casserole dish, making sure we're kind of covering everything as evenly as possible. Maybe a little more. It's kind of hard to eyeball it when you're pouring into a completely different shaped container, but we're going to say that that is half. And then let's make sure none of that goes all over the stovetop. Boop. Okay, and then in this bowl over here, I went ahead and melted the chocolate in the microwave. Now, you really want to be careful not to overheat your chocolate in the microwave because it'll start to scorch and it can get grainy and gross, and we definitely do not want grainy chocolate in these cheesecake bars because they're going to be bomb.com. So anyways, what you want to do is microwave it on short bursts, and then when there's just a few chunks left and the chocolate is warm enough, just stir it and the residual heat of the chocolate will finish melting the rest of it. And that's a good way to keep from burning the chocolate. So we're going to go ahead and scrape this into this bowl because the chocolate bowl is quite warm. And since there are eggs in the cheesecake batter, I don't want to scramble them. We don't need any of that in our cheesecake bars either. We want creamy and fluffy and delicious. Alright, got everything scraped out because just like Maxwell House, this chocolate is good to the last drop. Alright, now we're going to go ahead.
Stir around, stir around, stir around.
Exactly, what she said.
Stir around, stir around.
Okay.
Stir, stir. We are every day it every day. And one, it looks good.
You think it looks good?
Look.
Yeah, it's fun to play with, huh? Alright, and now we are going to spoon the batter over the vanilla flavored cheesecake batter.
Spoon.
Here, I'll do it this way, it'll probably be easier. Just giving it as even a distribution as possible.
It's this way get chocolate melter.
Yeah.
Look at that chocolate melter.
My little buddy talks quite a bit. She likes to kind of narrate life. And then we're going to use either, you can use a knife, or I'm going to use a skewer to give it a really beautiful swirl pattern before we bake it. Because we like to be fancy. What's funny is, hang on a second. Now for the swirling technique. So I like to just take the chopstick and just go back and forth, and I think I had a little more chocolate batter maybe than I had vanilla batter. I don't know. But either way, we're just going to swirl. Because I feel like it looks a little more chocolatey than the last time I made it, but again, it's been such a long time that I could be wrong. Voila, there you go, a slightly swirled design on the cheesecake bars.
And if I had actually had enough coffee, I would have read the recipe enough to know that I was actually supposed to beat the cream cheese before I added the other ingredients. So, learn from my mistake. Don't make this at like 7 a.m. and beat the cream cheese first. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and get these in the oven for about 45 minutes, and then we'll check back.
I just pulled the cheesecake bars out of the oven. Here they are in all their glory. They're not bars yet, technically, it's just a pan. But here we are. The recipe does recommend that you cool the cheesecake bars on a rack so that they can cool underneath as well. And you're supposed to do that for about an hour, and then you chill them in the refrigerator for several hours before serving. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. But here is what they look like. And I won't be doing a taste testing right now simply because they're going with me to an event. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and don't forget to give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy my cooking videos. Subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll be talking to you soon. Bye-bye.